Smith Wesson champion shooter and mother of two, Julie Golub, showed us how to make a quick, delicious, and healthy meal for your family. Now we'll learn how to transform the food you procured on your hunting adventures into dishes that will leave your guests speechless, mostly due to full mouths of amazing food. I'm Natalie Foster, and this is Love at First Shot, sponsored by Smith Wesson. You've just had a wonderful experience hunting, and now you're looking for a recipe that's just as memorable as that hunt. For that, we came here to Joshua Creek Ranch in Boerne, Texas. Joshua Creek Ranch, a certified Beretta Trident property, is teeming with wild game. I spent the day with Chef Michael, who's been crafting unique dishes for 30 years. So what do you have lined up for us?
All right, well today we're going to do some bacon wrapped quail stuffed with serrano peppers. We're gonna lay the breast across the bacon.
Okay.
We're gonna put a sliver of serrano pepper, and then we're gonna lay the leg on top like that.
Okay. What a fantastic way to entertain friends while cooking what you've procured yourself out on your hunts. I love this idea. With our quail on the grill, we'll move to an Axis steak in a cherry chipotle sauce. You may not be familiar with Axis deer, but Chef Michael believes it's the meat of the future because of its nutritional value.
Well, Axis is a deer family, and it is originally from India.
Oh, okay.
And they were imported here quite a while ago, and now they're pretty much running wild all over Texas. When you really compare Axis side by side with any other meat, it is one of the healthiest meats you can ever eat. Really low in cholesterol, it's really low in saturated fat. After they've been cooking for about 15 minutes, we're gonna turn the quail over, and then that's just about the time we're gonna go ahead and put on our Axis steaks. Those are gonna take maybe another 10 minutes or so to cook. We really don't wanna go much over medium rare. Right in between medium rare and medium is just about perfect.
To keep it nice and tender, right?
Tender and juicy, and it'll be fantastic.
Okay, Chef Michael, so for our third and final dish of the day, what are we gonna be looking at?
All right, now we're gonna make some pheasant enchiladas.
Which I hear, by the way, are legendary around here. I mean, I've been hearing about them forever.
It is our most requested lunch item. We're gonna take some pheasant legs, and we're gonna add these to the pot. Now we're gonna cover this with just enough water, about 1 inch over the top of the meat. If it doesn't stay submerged, it'll dry it out. So we're gonna cover this. We're gonna bring it up to a boil on high, and then we're gonna turn it down to a real low simmer.
Okay.
It's gonna take about 4 hours. So while that's cooking, we're gonna make the sauce. Let's start with 2 cans of enchilada sauce, 1 can of Rotel tomatoes, and then 1 can cream of celery soup, and 1 can of crema poblano. We're gonna bring this over to the stove and bring this up to a simmer and give that a little stir just to kind of get everything mixing together. We're gonna cut about 12 ounces of Velveeta cheese.
Okay.
Now, we're gonna let that come up to a boil before we add the cheese to it.
Okay.
Because if you add the cheese now while it's cold, it'll scorch on the bottom.
I see.
Add a little stir and turn off the heat. While the sauce is cooking, we will take the meat off the thigh. And then when you get down to the leg, there are a lot of little pin bones in the leg.
Yes, I see that.
So you just try to pick that the best you can. Now next we're gonna run a knife through it, just kind of a coarse chop. Usually when I go through it with a knife, I'll go through real gently, and that way if it does hit a bone, you'll feel it with the knife blade. And to this, we are going to add cheese, usually about half as much cheese as meat.
Okay. And just toss it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And give that a little toss. Bring this over. And we're gonna add just enough sauce to really kind of moisten it. Take one of our tortillas.
Ooh, this is a good part.
Depends on if you like them fat or skinny, however much you like put in there.
Okay.
Then we're gonna roll these up, and we're gonna set them right inside. So we're gonna cover the enchiladas with the sauce, and then just enough cheese to give a nice coating on them. Then we're gonna bake these at 350 for about 15 minutes.
Okay, this is the most exciting part. I cannot wait. Most exciting for me. You know, you'll have to check it out after you have created this amazing recipe yourself. But Chef Michael, I think it's time. I don't know how to describe the amazing flavors. I love it, all of it. Thank you so much. Well, obviously, Chef Michael is a pro at this, and in case you wanted to try it out, you can find all of his recipes and much more in this book that can be found on joshuacreek.com. And of course, come to Joshua Creek, check it out. If not for the food, then definitely for the hunting and the views. It's incredible. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming out.
Really appreciate it. And I say let's go have dinner.
Alrighty.
Cheers.
Cheers.
When it comes to creating fantastic feasts for your friends, you'll need all the right equipment to make the magic come alive. Our friends at Cabela's can help. With larger game, you're likely going to have some leftover meat to save, and you'll definitely need this handy little gadget, the Cabela's PreserveVac Basic Vacuum Sealer. Many people like to keep the meat from their hunt to feed their families and guests for months afterwards. So to ensure that your meat stays flavorful, you'll need a vacuum sealer like this one. Incidentally, it also works really well with frozen vegetables, dried fruit, and even desserts. We'd love to hear your stories and all about your adventures over at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Love at First Shot, sponsored by Smith Wesson. For the last piece of our foodie story, I'm off to beautiful rural Maine to meet author Paula Young Lee and learn how to create delicious meals from difficult cuts. The best things in life and the best cuts of meat are always worth a little extra elbow grease. Pull up a chair and join us for dinner next time on Love at First Shot, sponsored by Smith & Wesson.